PETROC Art and Prescription is a unique programme which uses art through education to support and make well people with mental health difficulties. Careful, professionally delivered sessions, participants are guided through a range of art and craft techniques and processes. They learn new skills, reawaken old talents. They gain motivation, self-worth, self-esteem. They are empowered through a normalising experience. Being part of the art course provides opportunities for self-expression, opportunities to be proud, to see achievements, and those achievements to be recognised and acknowledged by peers and professionals. It is a privilege to be part of people's lives at such a vulnerable time, and to see what is hidden through such blackness can be transformed into such colour.
I've been aware of Arts on Prescription from its very beginnings and was fascinated when I first heard about the model when it was pioneered in Stockport. Working within a mental health trust, our responsibility is, of course, to be providing treatment and resources for people with mental health difficulties. But ever increasingly, we see that in terms of what makes people resilient, how do people recover. Art, as I see it, is just a really important part of people's well-being. It's often been a problem that people stayed in services when they didn't need to because there was nothing on the outside in the community to send them on to. An Arts on Prescription style service means that people can move on from a specialist mental health services. We can know that they are being gently and effectively held by people who are informed about what the issues are, but they're not being held in the context of mental illness, and in fact have been led to another door, the door marked education, which many people coming through the door marked mental health would not see as something that was on their kind of map.
I have been teaching Art on Prescription now on and off for about four and a half years, and through that time what's wonderful is I've actually seen the progression that the students some of them, they're on their degrees now and they've gone right through each and every stage, and I love catching up with them now and seeing where they're at, and just thinking back to those first days when I first met them, and again it comes back to knowing what a big step that was to come through in the first place, but the transformation is incredible. The feedback forms at the end of the course, we get comments about not just, you know, I learnt this technique and I learnt that technique, which of course, you know, of course there's a part of that, but it's the knock-on effects that it has with people in their everyday lives, that they're realising that they're getting out more, they're feeling more confident, they're able to talk to people on an everyday basis, you know, and be that going to the shops, you know, whereas people may have really not been leaving their house before, not been coming into contact with people. They've built their confidence, and through going through those, you know, 10 to 12 weeks of an Art on Prescription course, the transformation is amazing.
Well, in my own personal case, as a person with sort of long-lived experience of anxiety and depression, I felt that Art on Prescription has had a very positive effect for me. One of the main reasons is that the people you meet on Art on Prescription, colleagues, peers, many have similar problems, actually do provide support for you. And you feel as though you're not alone. One of the problems, of course, with people with anxiety and depression, particularly if you're working age, which I am not now, is that it is very difficult to actually talk to people, particularly people like your employers, because you're always concerned as to how they will react. So to be able to talk with people who are not directly involved, say, with your own employment or family situation, it's very helpful. And you often find that people are able to give you good support, and when they want to relate their experiences. The important thing is that you're talking to people within an environment where we're all learning. I feel from what I've seen of people on the Art on Prescription course that by being able to work together in a group with good support from the tutors and encouragement, it does enable you to feel freer to be able to talk to people, get involved with people and learn from them.
The emphasis is for people to have a really positive learning experience. They're there to focus on the art, and what we've noticed is that by being able to get really absorbed in what they're doing, their levels of mental distress are reducing, which also means that people are less dependent on medication as well.
And it's made such a difference for me anyway, that I've got more ideas, and I was getting stuck at the beginning thinking, oh, I don't think I've got any more ideas, but it's really worth coming, and it gives you a lot of, they give you such each other support, and you make nice friends, and you know, really you can express yourself, you forget what's at home for a while anyway, and it really gets into your, you can get into your work, and you can come away and think, oh yeah, I did that today.
What I do is support Ellie. Sometimes I take the students out initially and talk to them individually and find out if there's anything worrying them or anything that we should know medically. Basically to assist them to feel welcome and comfortable.
And the wonderful thing about it was our tutor and the assistant tutor were so sympathetic. They soon created a really good atmosphere in which people got to know them and got to know each other. And we soon became a group who were very fond of each other and very supportive. And that was the right atmosphere for us to learn in. And I think everybody ended up doing some really good work, artwork, and finding talents maybe they didn't know they had, because we explored several media like pottery and acrylic painting, watercolour painting, using graphite, using charcoal. And it was altogether a thrilling experience, and I think most people felt that they'd found something that made them incredibly happy, that they were able to find something where you could relax, but relax with a purpose. So you ended up feeling you'd been creative on a good day. And that gives you much greater self-confidence.
It's accessible, it's something which people make a decision, an active decision themselves to come and participate in. And the effects have been really quite transforming for people. And we found that after being on a course, people have more confidence, they depending on what funding is available these days, they want to look at going on to do another course perhaps. They might be wanting to get involved in community art groups. They might also be wanting to think about maybe some voluntary work, because they've got used to having the art course bringing some structure into their lives. They've got used to having to organise themselves and go out on a regular basis, and really felt the benefit. So it's really helped their well-being, their sense of well-being, and helped them in their recovery process.
It was wonderful to find that I could still concentrate, and wonderful to explore. It just gave me so much more confidence. And I could lose myself in a work, and you don't even realise time's going by. You know, you forget to have a cup of tea, you forget to go to the loo. It's just so absorbing that it brings you a genuine sense of peace. You feel good afterwards, even if it's not a great work of art. You still feel that you've done something worthwhile.